So
Yes,
we'll
I
allow
think we
them.
should wait for 5 minutes.
Sure.
I
Allow
think we
them.
should wait for 5 minutes.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Let's allow some time for them and then we will take it. All right. All right. We will start our discussion, our post-lunch discussion. Now, before we, or rather in the morning session, somebody wanted to, one student wanted to have a recap of what is parking. and another person wanted to have a recap of what is a reversal process. Okay, yeah. Let me take you back to the SAP system. Now, let me go about parking. Okay. How do I park a document? I can either take up FB50 or F-02, anything. And now I think you are clear in understanding the difference. Both are the same. You are going to use this option to just enter your journal voucher. But the only thing is the presenting of the fields, presenting of the information in these two screens. That is nothing much. Clear? Now, let me take up FB50 itself. Okay. ₹651. Same amount. You can see I have still not submitted this entry. Enter. All right, you get a message in yellow. GL account is relevant to tax. Still okay. I can bypass this error. Now I will park this. Clear? I will park this. All right, I have parked this. So the ₹651, you will not see this amount affecting the your general ledger accounts. It is just a temporary general ledger. So let me just keep this information 100145. Document 1000145 is parked. All right. Now what I'll do is I will try to post this document. You want me to show the GL accounts also? Okay, I will show that the ₹651 wouldn't have entered the transactions at all. These two are the general ledger accounts which I have entered in 145 document. So can you see, is there a 145 document out here? You will not see them at all. You will not see that information at all because it is not affecting your financials. Now I'll make a note of the balance also 19,841 is the balance. Now let me post this and come back. Okay. Now is that okay? Now what I'll do is I will try to enter another document, a wrong document. So what I'll do, I will enter an erroneous document. Let me credit this general ledger account number. Let us say for 801 rupees. See why I'm having this uncommon amounts is just for you to differentiate. So now what have I done? I have credited the expense and I'm going to debit the bank. All right. Now I will post this. I'll post this entry. Now see how the system behaves. One four six was posted. Will you see this document in your accounts? 801 rupees. Yes, you will definitely see this balance. You will see document number 144 and 146, but you don't see that document, the park document for 145. Both the GL account numbers, you can see it is reflecting only your 144 and 146. It is not talking about 145 at all. See here. You can see this 801 rupees, but what happened to that 651 rupees? It is still in the park stage. Yeah. Now I will reverse this document. I can immediately reverse, or after posting so many documents also I can reverse. So what happens if I reverse this document after having posted other documents? It will take up the next number. Now it is 146. Now if I immediately reverse, it will take up 147 obviously. All right, but if I start posting 146, 147, 148, 148, 149, 150, and if I reverse this document 146, all right, it will reverse it with the document number 151. It will not reverse with the immediately next document. Okay, because all the document numbers, they can be generated only once. They can be generated only once. SAP will not repeat the document number again. It will not repeat the document number. In the financial year, one document number can appear only once. It cannot appear more than once. Clear? Now I will pull out that park document 145 document, park documents. I can post, I can change whatever I want, I can do. So 145 is the only thing. And how do you retrieve the park document? Somebody asked me a very interesting question. How do I retrieve the posted documents? Go to the same option. I don't remember the document number. I have parked so many documents. Let me assume. Now, if I want to generate the document, the parked document list, I don't know the document number entered by anybody. Yeah, I will execute this entry or execute this program. See, only one document is written because only I am the only person who have reversed this document, who have parked this document. Sorry, I am the only person, and there's only one document which is in the parked stage. Are you getting my point? Now I can add general ledger accounts. I can change general ledger accounts. I can change the amounts. I can change the dates, but I cannot change the document number. 145 remains as 145. I cannot change it. Clear? Now whatever changes I want to make, I can change the general ledger account numbers. I can change the amount. I can change the dates. I can add more data. Suppose I have left out some assignment. Okay, or some date I have forgot. I can enter. Like if you want me to enter the text, I can enter the text. Whatever. All these fields can be added, but the document number is irreversible. Now I want to post. See, document number is posted with the same 145. The document number will not change. Now, if you want to see the 651 rupees, you can see this. Scroll down, scroll down. Can you see this 145 now? 651 rupees. ₹651 credit, bank account, debit expense, debit your postage account. Can you see this 651 rupees out here? Now we have understood the process of how to park a document, how to retrieve a parked document. If at all you want to make some changes, you definitely can make changes to the parked document and then convert the parked document into a posted document. So that process we have known now. Now I want to reverse this document 146 because I know it is wrong. I have credited the expense account and debited the bank account. So I want to reverse this document 146. Now I want to reverse document reverse. How many documents should I have to reverse? Only one. As of now, I have identified only one erroneous document which I want to reverse. So I'll pick up that document 146 reversal reason. As I said, it is a star. The field is a star. What does it mean? It is a required entry. Reversal in the current period. Now I can display this document. If you want to display this 146 and ensure that you are reversing the correct document. So test postage account I have credited and bank account I have debited. So this is the document which I want to reverse. Perfect. Now I'll reverse. I will simply post. See now SAP is creating another document number 147. Because my immediate after the reversal, after the wrong entry, I immediately reversed it. So that is the reason as to why SAP has generated the next number. Was this process clear? Now, if you want to see this document 147, or you want to see the GL accounts, now you can see all 145, 146, 147. See, 801 rupees debit, 801 rupees credit. This is as far as your bank account is concerned. If you want to see the postage account, 147 debit, 801 rupees is debit. Clear? So now we know the process of reversing as well as parking. Was this clear? Somebody had asked me a question in the morning. How a liability is reversed like any other normal process. Like any other normal process, what kind of questions will be asked for the assessment? All I can tell you is there'll be multiple choice questions. They won't be complex questions, simple questions. You'll be having multiple choice wherein you'll have to select the options. Okay. So did you get the answer how a liability is reversed? Thank you, Kunal. To reverse a liability, you essentially reverse the document which.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I didn't understand this question. Can we write narration in SAP? Yeah, you have the text field, right? You have the text field in SAP. You have the text field in SAP where you can enter your narration. All right. Where do you see the text field? Here is your text field. The text field, you can enter your narration. Okay. What is a try-on option? Somebody asked me what is this try-on? Click on it. You will see. It will display some additional details. That's it. Okay. Somebody was asking me how I had created some NAG 123 or something. See this also. I'll retrieve this. Okay, and I can edit. Okay, more I can display. Test postage account 801 rupees. Did I hold it? I don't know. What was the document? When did I post it? Today. Oh my God. That was a reversal, right? Okay. Not to worry. So you saw the tree on option also. It displays some additional information. That's it. All right. Okay. Let me say no. So any other questions? What is the impact of reverse document? How do I answer this question? So normally, even in your non-SAP scenario, why do you reverse an entry? Because there is something erroneous. So what is the impact? You're rectifying the entry. As simple as that. That's it. But in SAP, a little more, a little more care is taken as far as the reversal process is concerned. Okay, so you have our moderator replying to your question. A reverse document in SAP cancels the financial impact. All right. Oh yes, you can make the reversal entry even after so many months. Yeah, you can do. You're most welcome. Suppose you're in a position to identify the erroneous document, you can pick it up at any moment and post. You can reverse it. Not a problem. All right. But as you can see, our moderator, she has replied, as long as the period is open and the business rules and you have the approvals. All right. So as long as you have the right approvals and the right authorizations to carry out this entries, you're most welcome to reverse any entry at any moment. Not only if you have the erroneous document today, it doesn't mean to say that you need to reverse the document today. No, not like that. I hope that question was answered perfectly well. All right, now somebody was asking, just hold on. Somebody asked me a question in the morning as to what is the difference between your FBL3N and your FAGL L03. Am I right? Somebody asked me a question. I had marked it also. FAGL L03. All right. Normally, you have this particular transaction code. Can you see this FAGL L03? Now I will take you to the line item display. It is for the same purpose. You need to see the balance of a document. or rather a GL account. Sorry, you want to see the balances of a specific general ledger account. This was the one what I was using, FBL3N. So you are very well aware of this. So you can also take up the parked documents during your account display. Yeah. Now, you saw the screen. I will just allow the screen for a couple of seconds. Just mentally make note of this, because I will take you to this other transaction code FAGL L03 and tell you the difference. All right, I will go to the other transaction code FAGL L03. So it says new in the bracket. Correct. Now, whenever you are following the ledger concept, you know what a ledger is, right? Okay, it is the same screen. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Can you see it is asking for the ledger? In which specific ledger you want to see the general ledger account? Now, as I said, all the entries, all the financial transactions, they are impacting your leading ledger 0L. Correct? Now, if at all you have posted a entry into your US GAAP ledger, or maybe say IFRS GAAP, IFRS ledger. So how do you see these general ledger accounts which you have used to affect the transactions pertaining to the business of the US or of Europe? They are specific to only those two businesses. They are specific to only those two geographical locations, and only those two non-leading ledgers. So in case you want to mention, you want to take the balances of these general ledger accounts. Let me ask you one general ledger account. These general ledger accounts which I'm using, they are specific to the US GAAP. Can you see this choose ledger? So in the FBL3 option, you never had this. You never had the option to choose the ledger. Now you can choose the ledger. Clear? I can pick up the ledger. In whichever ledger I want this GL accounts to be reflected, I can do. Have I answered that question? In the morning, this was asked. So I feel that question, that open question was also resolved now. That was an open query. Now that also is being done. Understood? What does FAGL L03? What is the difference between these two transactions, FBL3N and your FAGL L03? All right. Good. Now, just hold on for a couple of minutes. Now, in the morning, somebody asked me a very interesting question. Where did I write that question? And I made a note of that question. How to customize field data? Very, very interesting question. Now, did everybody understand this question? What does this question mean? Even before I answer this question, what does this question mean? Now, I'll go back to the general ledger entry. So what do I do here? I simply enter the journal voucher. I am paying 500 rupees to some stationery. I bought some 20 books and something. So I'm paying 500 rupees from my petty cash to this particular transaction. I'm entering it here. Now, if at all I had made the system behave in such a way that even for this simple journal voucher entry, suppose it asks me for the bank account number. Do you think it's a, suppose it asks me for some sales order number. Let me pick it up like this. It asks me for a sales order. Do you think that this particular information is relevant to this transaction? Not at all. Suppose if I had erroneously made this information as a wanted entry, required entry, would you be irritated or not? I'm entering a simple journal voucher. Why should it ask me for a sales order? Why should it ask me something called as an order? Why should it ask me for, say, something called as a trading partner? Why should the system ask me about all the unwanted data? Planned. So now, how will the system behave? How can I set the system? Now, at the same point, I want to make the text field as a relevant field, mandatory. So one thing is, if the system prompts me to enter the sales order, it is irritating. But now somebody asked me something, right? What about the explanation? How do you give the explanation to a entry? You're debiting and crediting one GL account to another GL account. And normally in your narration, what would you write? Being the expenses, being the stationery expenses, 200 rupees or 500 rupees. I want the text field to be mandatory. Now, in this concept, customize the field data. Okay. Each information, what you saw, the text, the sales order, the plan, they are referred to as fields. I think you should be aware of this now. Even your document date is a field, your posting date is a field. So similarly, your assignment, your value date, your text, whatever you are saying the information along the breadth of the screen, the fields can be made based on the requirements. The fields can be made to behave as a mandatory field. Any field can stop the user to enter the required information. Okay. Or you can totally suppress that information from the end user. The end user will not even see this because the field itself is suppressed. Or you can simply have a field just to display some data. You can just have a field which displays some data. That's it. You can also make the field as option. So normally this is SAP default. All the fields are optional. It is by default, SAP default. Now it is up to my business scenario how I want to make use of these fields. How should the fields behave? This is through a concept called as field status variant. Here again, each company code must be assigned. You need to create your own field status variant. So let me refresh the variant principle. You create, you populate, you assign. Basically, these steps are applicable even to the field status variant. Fiscal year, what were the earlier variants we saw? Fiscal year variant, posting period variant. Now this is the third variant what we are seeing, field status variant. Typical to the finance consultant. All right, now. So how does the consultant control the appearance or the non-appearance of any specific information during the transactions? All right, this is through your field status variant. You can completely suppress the field so that it will not even appear to the user. You can just display that information, but you cannot enter anything. Display is just display. The field is displayed to you. You cannot enter any data. Third one is make that information as a required information for the transaction. Yeah. Or keep everything optional. If the user wants to enter data, he can enter. If the user doesn't want to enter any information, fine, fair enough. He need not be forced to enter the data. So such arrangement is your optional arrangement. And this is SAP default. See, what did I mean by SAP default? See, I entered so many documents, 141, 142, 143, correct? Did SAP stop me because I had to enter a field? No. So by default, SAP has made all the fields except for some data. Your document date is mandatory. You need to enter. Your posting date is mandatory. Your company code is mandatory. Your currency is mandatory. So except for some header information, see, as I said, it is only the transactional information. Clear? Did you understand the difference? And did you understand how you can control the fields in SAP? This is another interesting concept here, which is a part of your part of the work of a financial consultant. Nobody else is responsible for setting these things. Clear? Take 2 minutes to digest this information. Clear? Interesting information. You agree? I'll give you 2 minutes. Just think over it and come back to me with questions. All right. Can we classify into national and international? At least I have not come across this particular. I have not come across this national and international COA. Can you be more specific in this? I'm not very clear about the question. So please. Okay, definitely I'll explain. Field status. I'll definitely explain. Not a problem. Please clarify your question. Then we will see. Where do we see country chart of accounts? Okay. Where do you see country chart of accounts? Okay, I'll start from this and I'll come back to your field status a little late. Okay. Where do you see country chart of accounts? Wonderful. Okay. Where do you see country chart of accounts? Good. Just hold on. Looks like I need to log into the SAP system. Just hold on. So your question was, where do you see the country chart of accounts? Okay. Okay. To show this, I'll have to go to the consultant screen. As I said, this on the screen, I won't concentrate much. All right. I'll simply show you the place where you can see the country chart of accounts. I'm going to keep silent on this particular path. Can you see this country chart of accounts? This is where you can see the country chart of accounts. Where this is being created, let's not get into it. Okay. You're okay with this country chart of accounts? And as I said, they are not mandatory at all. They are not even mandatory. Okay. And if you ask me in how many projects have you used the country chart of accounts, I may not be in a position to tell you even one, because I faintly remember having used any country chart of accounts. All right. Because it is not not required. It is not mandate. Your country chart of accounts is not mandate. Clear? Now, what was the other question? Was there any question? Please explain, please. Okay, where do you see the country chart of accounts? I hope you're clear. Okay. Do we have to post documents? Obviously, yes. See, why only posting it? You need to follow the Indian accounting standards, no? See, posting and all, you'll have to follow the rules. Obviously, you'll have to follow the accounting standards for whichever ledger you are posting. If you are practicing or if you are having your business in India, yes, you need to use you need to follow the Indian accounting standards. All right. Yes. Perfect. Yeah. In conglomerates, you use the group chart of accounts. Yes. Perfect. Now, what is this suppress? Now, I'll go back to my end user screen. I want to do a simple document entry. Now, to enter the journal vouchers, I want to suppress this field assignment. I do not want this assignment field to appear while doing the data entry. This is called as suppressing a field. So by default, I said all the fields are optional. It is up to the user to enter data or not to enter data, but it is left to him. But suppose I want to suppress. I do not want to see this field at all in my FB50. I do not want to see this field at all. How do I do it? Now, I don't know if I can show you the place. Okay. Did you understand what is a suppressed field? I simply do not want a field to appear. During transactions, I do not want this field to appear at all, this information to appear at all. So this is what is called as your suppressing. Clear? Where you suppress, just hold on. That is a consultant's job. Clear? He will understand the requirement of the business and accordingly keep the fields in the desired form. Whether to suppress, whether to make this field as mandatory, whether to make this field as a display only, or whether to keep this field as optional. Was this clear? Was this what you wanted to know regarding the suppress field? Yeah, you can change. Yes, you can change the currency rate. You can. Where exactly you would want you want to change this currency rate? It is a job of a consultant. Okay. He goes to the transaction code OB08. And here he sets up the translation rates. €1 is equal to U1 USD, one euro is equal to these many USDs, €1 is equal to. So if you want to convert this into an INR, see here he says $1 is equal to 70 INR. So this is where the consultant sets up the currency rates. Clear? Exchange rates. Was this question answered? Perfect. Any other questions? I'll give you 2 more minutes. I hope the concept of suppress field and all other things were also clear. Yeah, you can. You can ask the consultant to change the fields. What do you mean by change? You mean to say add or add new fields or what? Or is it just to change the status from suppress to required to display to something? Or is it that, or you want to add new fields? Yes, changing the status, that is from required to optional to suppress to something, it is done by the consultant. But if at all you want to have new fields added to your data entry, we need to approach the technical consultants. Clear?